Hello and really warm greetings to you, whether you've looked at the channel before or not. I'm up here at this vintage Tri-ang Super 4 based layout and we're going to play with some toy trains in a minute. I've got lots of updates. It's been a while since I've made a video, so things are happening and I'll try and get through a couple of those in this video, but let's get straight into some model railway fun. Now, a few of you have said, what about the little Tri-ang or Tri-ang Hornby industrial locos? Well, I know I haven't really featured them much, so I'm going to feature a R.355 R just for a little while. It's Polly. Now, I did make a stupidly fast custom Polly some time ago when we attempted a loop-the-loop. I'll perhaps leave a link to that in the description box, but here's a standard version. Now, they made these for simply years, can't remember all the dates, but let's get something running on the track. So open, well, set points G to curve up there. Hopefully you heard that. And we'll see whether she can pull these bright coaches out onto the upward main line. Great little locos, these. Loads of different versions. So I've put points G back to straight, and I'm hoping that Polly's going to cope with all the points and Super 4 diamond crossings. We've got one here. I haven't got her going stupidly fast. Yeah, perhaps a slight hesitation, but look at that, hauling those coaches nicely. So let's just back it off a bit. So I thought today we'd go back to, say, 1973. So while Polly goes round, I've looked out a couple of items for us to take a quick look at. We've got a Wrenn Railways loco here. We're going to be running this. That's W2228 462 City BR Green. Lovely loco. I think I have featured it on the channel some time ago, but yeah, let's get it out again. Now, here's a first edition catalogue. That doesn't mean it's the first catalogue Wrenn made. They've made loads before it, but it's the first of this particular format. And if I flick through, I think this probably came out around 1973. And look at this, we've got the W2228, sorry, 2228, yeah, that's right, hopefully not too many twos. Coronation Class 8P locomotive, City of Birmingham, and doesn't she look great there? Well, we had a bit of fun with the City of Stoke-on-Trent in some of the previous videos, but today it's this guy's turn. So let me just see if I can lift the lid off the box. A really nice crisp loco this, not seen too much time out on the track, but it won't need anything doing to it because I have run it since we started doing these railway videos. And for those who don't remember, this all came about due to the first COVID lockdown. Now, look at that. That's going to be lovely on the layout. So I'm going to get that out in a minute. And right at the back of the layout, in the big station, there's some Pullman coaches. So we're going to go and get hooked up to those and then trundle them round. Now, for a bit of Hornby Railways fun, we also go back to 73 or 74, and I've got this. It's a really interesting loco, really. It's the Lord Westwood. Yeah, I mean, a lot of you might know about this. Not a real model, almost a sort of just, it's really a toy train, isn't it? They used the old Albert Hall moulding and created this. But what did they say about it at the time? A lavishly decorated model in gleaming red with white markings. She has Magnesian exhaust steam sound and plated wheels, and is designed to be the pride of the line. Okay, well, maybe the pride of the line, let's see. And if I just look at the price here, that says R.765 Lord Westwood with tender, and that's £6.25, and I think this is a 73 price list. So I'm just going to get this catalogue out of the way. and attempt to open the box. So just bear with me. Great box this, in lovely condition. There's a little bit of damage to the flap at the end, but not bad for something made in the 1970s. And I'm just going to use my carpenter's pencil to ease that flap. Okay, let's see if we can just encourage this to slide out. So if I can just get it to start sliding out, we can perhaps take a look at it. I have got the camera in one hand, so I'm just going to we're nearly there. And look at Polly just coming past the long station, running well. Can't go far wrong with these vintage toy trains. Now it's just sticking slightly. I think yeah, I think we're nearly there. I just don't want to damage the box really, because it's in quite nice condition. I think it's just stuck on the insert. So this is one of those Hornby models that had quite a nice sort of insert. Hopefully you can see it over the glare. 01365 on there. Right, so let's take a look at the item itself. Now I've never run this, we've never looked at it on the channel before, so we're taking a look at this together for the first time. It's just been away in storage for decades. So look, R.765 and 051174, so we're in 74 for this model. And let's just have a look. Okay, well I wonder if any of you can notice something different from the description. Let's just lift it out, because this doesn't have plated wheels, does it? But look at the gleam on this. It is virtually unrun. It's probably been around the track a little bit, but hardly at all. And look, we've got a copper chimney cap there. Let's see whether the case, has it cracked by the fixing screw? No. Though that's great. Let's take a look at the tender. Just going to balance that down. Just pop that a little bit more safely so I can grasp the tender. It's quite tight. Plastic wheels, and you can see, yeah, there's a little flap that sticks down from the sound box. Now I did notice, it looks to me like someone's disabled the sound generator and put the little actuator in there. Well, that's probably not a bad place for it. I think that's where I'll leave it. So look at that tender, look at the shine on that. Apparently this number reflects a telephone number for Margate, I believe, Hornby. But yeah, it's very red, very bright, and very much a toy train, so I'm going to have fun with that. So while Polly goes round, we'll just yeah, so this Super 4 railway, 8 feet by 17 and a bit, has been up here since the first lockdown, the COVID lockdown. It was a project I did while we were all you know, had a little bit of extra time on our hands, but time has caught up now. This building originally was scheduled for conversion, and that time is now fast approaching. Now, a few of you might have visited the railway, and those of you that have will know that the situation I live in here is slightly less than normal. So I've got a lot going on, and if you've witnessed it firsthand, you'll appreciate the sort of day-to-day things that I'm coping with. But anyway, what I'm about to say might come as a bit of a shock, but I think I'm going to have to think about moving the railway now. It's a large railway to move. I haven't even finished this first iteration of it, but I've got to think about rehoming it. And rehoming something that's 8 feet by 17 odd is, let's say, it's just taking up a little bit of my thought processes. So that's the first bit of news, and that might involve some changes to the channel. So if I do indeed have to disassemble and pack away this railway so I can rebuild it at a later date in another situation, some of the railway content is going to be very different. So what I'll probably do is concentrate more on a little bit of servicing and renovation, and finally get round to some refinishing hopefully, and then maybe just have a bit of fun on a small test track. That is until I get something else sorted out. Now in the meantime, there's plenty of great vintage railways on YouTube. I'm sure you know about most of them. I've talked about Oscar before. He's at the moment running some great Hornby 00 and early Tri-ang, but later Tri-ang models as well on Series 3 track. We've got Mon over in Brisbane. Excellent layouts over there, and there's been a lot of work done that I haven't done, making scenery, incorporating 3D printing, just some excellent content. So I'll leave a link to these channels in the description box. We've got the guys down the garage layout. They're running loads of great Tri-ang stuff, and very entertaining to watch too, and many more. So if I haven't said, please don't feel left out. It's just a couple that have come to mind, especially those that have supported this channel and taken the time to leave comments. But while I'm out of action large layout wise, we shall be doing things. But yeah, but don't worry, this isn't the last appearance of the Super 4 Railway. I'm going to give you plenty of warning before that actually happens. We've certainly got we haven't got just days to go, is what I'm trying to say. We've got time. Right, so look at Polly. I'm going to bring her around and park her up, and then I'm just going to pause the recording and get these other locos on the layout. Now I might need to just give the Lord Westwood a little bit of an oiling. It won't need much. It's so simple. It's just an XO4 and a couple of gear wheels. But here she is, nicely into the station. Let's just take a quick look. I do love these little old 040s. In fact, we'll have to get them out. We've got a Nelly. There's a Connie hiding away somewhere. In fact, there's two versions of Connie, but I've lost my yellow one. There is a blue one knocking around, and then of course there's a green one that I think just has a number on it, and there might be a couple of other versions, but I haven't come across them yet. Now the collection will have to be rehoused as well, so this is all going to take a lot of planning, but I am lucky in that I have quite a large roof space in my house, so subject to approval from Mrs. Snooze, I'm hoping to do something up in that roof space. But of course there will be a list of other jobs that need attending to first, as they usually are. Right, I'm going to stop waffling on now. We're going to get these two locos. We've got this Wrenn City of Birmingham and this excellent Lord Westwood. I'm going to get them on to the railway, and we'll finish off with a bit of fun running these two round. Okay, well, the Lord Westwood's had a drop of oil, so happily waiting there on the outer of the double track loops. Polly's been disconnected from her coaches, and the City of Birmingham is ready to go. Now, I'm just going to sort that out in a minute, but it just came to my mind as I was fiddling with the Lord Westwood. There's a couple more channels that I need to put down in the list, so have a look at Paul. He's been having fun with Tri-ang in his garage, and Bob Cairns, all the way from the start of my channel, probably before, he's been running Tri-ang. And like I said, there's so many others who are enjoying these older and these more historic items. So I am sorry if I've left your channel out. You can always leave a mention in the comments. But right, let's get back to it. So what am I going to do first? I wonder if Polly will just move away. Let's have a go. I love running these, you know, even though they're probably not designed for it. I like to get a bit of scale running out of these old Tri-ang items. Indeed, that was what first got me thinking about doing this in lockdown, when I was playing with an old Dock shunter I found. They're just incredibly versatile, very agricultural in manufacture, but you can just do so much with them. Right, Polly's away, so I need to put points G back to straight, and then what do we need? Points C. Okay, let's have a look at those. Right, well, if I've got everything right, the Lord Westwood should reverse out. You see it came to a little bit of a halt there, but I think it's just because it's not been used much, so I'll just give it a little bit of a helping hand there. It's picking up nicely. Okay, so point C. Now, let me just double check. Yeah, happy with those. Now, I don't think that quite coupled. Let's have a go. Yeah. Right. Time for some excellent fun with this bright model. And already it's away. Look at that. That's running nicely. The Albert Hall was a sensational Tri-ang locomotive. And I think this is probably about the last version of it that Hornby issued. We've got the XO4 motor with a brass worm wheel, but I believe a plastic drive gear. But look at that. It's almost like a sort of Harry Potter train, isn't it? But it's a great looking thing. Okay. Now then, we ought to have a look at this Wrenn item. So I'm going to try and back this up now. Just put a little bit of power on. Such a great loco, these sort of Hornby 00 derived models. So I'm going to ease it into the station at the back and then just go onto these Pullmans. So have I got hold of those? Let's try moving it forwards. So I'm just taking up the tension. We're not going too fast. I'm going to ease the power off the Lord Westwood a little. But let's watch this city of Birmingham. Yeah, that's just a super quiet runner. That's right off into the station on the back of the layout with all those Wrenn Pullman cars. And here comes the bright red Lord Westwood. All right, back at the start of this channel when I thought about refurbishing this Super 4 track, and I nickel plated it all, and look at it. We're going back now 3 years and it's still holding up well. So it brought a load more life back to this ancient track that was indeed just very rusty. So I'm just slowing the Wrenn loco down a bit. I think what's amazed me over the years is that it's just the amount of fun you can have with these items and just how long they've lasted. I know that the Wrenn in particular were built as almost collector's items, but they just have really stood the test of time. And it's frightening to think that some more modern items have already succumbed to a Mazak rot or other unfortunate redundancies. And even though they run so nicely, these sealed for life motors, in my mind, it's all a bit of a shame that there's no maintenance available. Because half of the fun with model railways, I think, is the repair and maintenance of the items. Well, I'm going to enjoy running these two a little bit longer, and I'll let you see them go round. I hope you've enjoyed seeing these two locos running, and little Polly over there, and I look forward to the next time I get time to share some model railway items with you. So in the meantime, thanks for watching this video, and take care, and for now I'll say goodbye.